Good morning, students. Today, let us start our class with the lesson Mowgli, the Wolf Child. It is a story of a little boy who is saved by a family of wolves from a man eating tiger, Sher Khan. He is named Mowgli by his adoptive parents and grows up in the jungle, playing, hunting, and eating with the wolves and other animals. But Sher Khan does not forget his prey, and when Mowgli grows up, turns the younger wolves of the pack against him. With great sorrow, Mowgli decides to leave the jungle and live amongst the mysterious things called men. Now, let us go through the summary of this chapter. When Mowgli left the wolf's cave after the fight with the pack at the Council Rock, he went down to the plowed lands, where the villagers lived. Council Rock means here where the wolf pack had its meeting. At that place, he decided to leave the jungle. And he went to the plowed lands where the villagers lived. But he hurried on. It was too near to the jungle. So he didn't like to stop there. So he went away from there also. At last he reached in a village. It was a plain area and there were so many cattle and buffaloes were grazing. Then the little boys in charge of the herds, means cattle and buffaloes, saw Mowgli. Then what happened? They shouted and ran away. Dogs in the village also started to bark, by seeing Mowgli. Mowgli moved from there also and he was feeling very hungry. So he went to the gate of the village. He thought that men are afraid of the people of the jungle in this village also. So what happened? He sat down by the gate. And that time a man came out and he stood up, opened his mouth and pointed down it to show that he wanted food. Then what happened? The man stirred and ran back up the street of the village shouting for the priest. Then what happened? The priest, who was a big fat man dressed in white with a red yellow mark on his forehead, came to the gate. For what purpose? For seeing the boy. And with him came at least 100 people who stayed and talked and shouted and pointed at Mowgli. Mowgli was sitting there at the gate. By seeing that man, he stood up and he asked for some food. Then what happened? That man was afraid of that boy and he went to the priest, and after that the priest came with the hundreds of people. And all stared and talked and shouted and pointed at Mowgli. Mowgli became very shocked. Then the priest told to the people, what is there to afraid of that little boy? Nothing is to be afraid of. And he also pointed out some marks on his arms and legs. And after that he told that those marks were the bites of wolves. And the priest also told that he was the wolf child run away from the jungle. In fact, there had some scars, white scars all over his arms and legs. And in playing together with the cubs had often nipped Mowgli harder than they intended. So it happened. It was real. But that happened while playing only. Now, 2-3 women also started to talk. They told that to be bitten by wolves. Poor child. He was a handsome boy and he had eyes like red fire. Then one of the ladies remembered that Meswa was the name of one lady. She asked to that lady, this boy, that means Mowgli was just like her boy. That boy was taken by the tiger long ago. By seeing the white scars on his body, that lady had a doubt that Mowgli was her son or not. Then that lady replied that let her look, and she was a lady with heavy copper rings on her wrists and ankles. Okay, and she peered at Mowgli closely. Then she said, "Indeed, he was. Means, in fact, he was, and he was thinner. Okay, her son was thinner, but Mowgli has the very look of my boy. Okay, means my boy means her boy was just like Mowgli. Then she confirmed that Mowgli was her son. Okay. The priest was a cleverer man, and he knew that Meshua was wife to the richest man in the village. So he looked up at the sky for a minute and said solemnly, means seriously, what the jungle has taken, the jungle has restored. Means the jungle had taken that boy once, and the jungle only had restored that boy. Okay, returned that boy. So you can take your boy to your home. Okay. Then the lady took Mowgli to her home. She thought that Mowgli was her son. Students, hope you have understood what I taught today. The remaining part of this chapter we will learn in our next class.